Hey! Hi Nix, hello Float. I hope you're doing good. We are going to be doing some more puzzling today, hopefully finishing up the one that we started ages ago. Ideally. Hang on. Give me a second. Gotta take care of something I didn't think to before. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Alright, now let's see. Please be the right screen. If you're any screen, that's great. Well, yeah, that's the right one. Okay. Anyway, this is the puzzle. Interesting that it was paused, but the timer was going, right? It was? That wasn't my imagination, right? Well, but anyway. So, you know, that's the one we've been working on. We can indeed rotate it, so maybe it does not fit in the way that we've seen it so far. That makes it a little more interesting, but also a lot more torturous. We'll just have to figure it out, you know? We'll have to figure it out. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling sad, Nix. I hope that you'll do better soon and have more joyous things. Guess we're all hoping for that in a way. Life has been hard lately, and I wish us all good things generally. Oh wait, no, but this can totally... no, that does not fit that way, does it? Interesting. Wait, but that totally goes just, yeah, on top of there. On top of there, indeed. Noted. Noted. Yeah, that's kind of the annoying thing, isn't it? You never know. Ooh. Found something that fits. Which direction something is supposed to go? Guess we'll figure lots of things out along the way. I guess so. If I can give any advice, don't take too many risks while you're feeling down. Obviously, that's not to say that you shouldn't try out new things, that you shouldn't be out there trying to socialize and make things work, and that all hope is lost just because things previously didn't work out and now you're too scared to try something new. Just like put your energy into things that might actually work, I guess, is my learnings lately, because I've spent too much time and energy on stuff that wasn't worth investing in mentally, really, if you want to go about it that way. And that's difficult, you know. Makes it hard to get up in the morning. Because then, like, you know, then what's the point? Yeah, find something that feels meaningful, that makes sense. And if you can't do that, then do something meaningful. It can be the tiniest thing. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be life-changing for anyone at all, in any way whatsoever. Like, stop expecting so much of yourself. I think we're putting ourselves up for failure if we always expect we're gonna be making a great impact on someone's life or on something socially, economically, or whatever. You know, like only people who go into the history books should be working hard. That doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think that that's what we should be striving for at all. But you know, anyway, I'll lose the train of my thought at one point or another if I keep rambling like that. Just, you know, if life is making you unhappy, try and find happy things. As bad as that sounds, like, oh, haha, if you're unhappy, just be happy. No, like, life isn't gonna always make it easy to want to be here. So find things to be here for. Even if you've got to look for a long ass while. I think that makes it worth it. But yeah, I totally get just waking up sad. Or just being randomly sad. Just today, actually, I was like feeling pretty fine, and I was meeting up with a family member of mine, and we were having a good time, having some good talks. And then I was like, oh, hey, yeah, I have some errands to run now. Like I said earlier, so I'd warned about this, and we both knew we were gonna go our separate ways at some point during this outing. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep going this way now. I'm pretty sure you don't want to come along, right? And they were like, oh yeah, no, that's right. Sorry, I forgot that you mentioned you were gonna do this. But yeah, I'm gonna go on my own way then. And I was like, okay, good, bye. We had a good time. It was nice talking. And then we went our separate ways, and it was totally fine. And then I got just really sad and lonely for some reason. And I was like, well, what am I gonna do now? I'm all depressed. I was just gonna run an errand and then go home, but now I'm all depressed. I can't be going home depressed, man. What's up with that? Which, I mean, good, I guess, technically, to be fair, I could be. I don't have to be happy all the time. There's no pressure to, and there's no shame in not being okay, and if I just gotta wallow in my unhappiness, then I'm gonna do that, you know? But at the time I felt like Well, I just didn't want to fucking do that. Right? But yeah, so that's a thing that happened, and I guess my point is just kind of, you're gonna sometimes be unhappy because your brain's chemicals just do that, and it's okay. You don't have to panic about it, you don't have to change it, you don't have to turn your entire life around because this means you failed somehow. No, you can just do whatever, you know? It's okay. It's alright. No need to panic. So, I don't panic, and I hope you don't panic. And that's that. That's the entire lesson. I don't think I know Watch Dogs, but I hope you have fun with it, Nukes. Is it a Steam game? Is it a console game? What kind of a thing is it? Since you talked about chasing after other people, I imagine it to be kind of like a spy kind of thing. Could totally be wrong, I guess. I absolutely could. Mayhaps. Hey, Kuroi, and also hi, Frank. Yes, it's Sin. It's me. I'm here. I haven't gone very far. We're doing this revolutionary thing called picking up on a puzzle that I said I was gonna solve 2 streams ago. Cause why the fuck is this taking so long? Holy shit. It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. So I'm not good at holding on to promises, as this case shows. But I guess I didn't promise it. If I promised it, I would, you know, maybe I would be different about it. Maybe I would have to be, like, hardcore about it. Putting some night's work in. Doing some really late streams, so you can see me finish this all in one. But because, you know, we all want to have, like, a healthier rhythm, I didn't do that. And I assume that you thank me for it, but I could always be wrong. I could always absolutely be wrong, you know. So I'm just asking to be safe. A game about a hacker. Interesting. Okay, then. I don't know anything specifically about that, I guess. This all very much seems like it should fit together. Mayhaps. Well, that works at least. Yay. And then there's probably yay. Let's go. Okay. Excuse me. Well, we're making some progress, even if it's not, like, hard progress. It's not gonna show us how life works. The entire world. And all that's connected to it. But, you know, we can do something. Also, I'm totally getting the hiccups. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have to apologize in advance for the craziness that's gonna happen with that. But so far, since I've explained it, I haven't had any hiccups, so maybe it's like in my imagination. Maybe it's in my dreams. Maybe it teases in such a way that it only shows itself when it's inconvenient. That would be pretty dickish of it. That's totally fair, Kuroi. I hope you have a good time lurking, and otherwise, today, Are taking good care of yourself? Would there be a little bit of yellow in this? No, in this? No, in this? No. Oh, in this, totally. I knew it from the very first look. Don't know what you mean, I'm a pro at this. Well, we've got something to put here and there at least. Is Chicago especially corrupt? Or was it just chosen for the game? Maybe Chicago has some secrets we don't know about. What if that's the case? What if we're all sad? Because of Chicago? What are we gonna say then? Yes, indeed. That's just how it goes. We'll find the way to put all the pieces eventually, I guess. I do think it's going to be easier and easier to find all the places that these need to go in. Much easier since we don't have a lot of open spaces to fill, you know. Ooh, nice. We make it work, baby. We make it work. Hey, we're actually gonna get this stream. Finally. Even though both of the last two streams I said that I was just gonna make it work in that one. And then I didn't, so technically I'm a liar. Wow. You can't report me for fake news though, that's not how it works. Ha. Sucks to be you. Just false promises, man. Just those. Maybe that's exactly how that goes. I kind of feel like it should. I kind of feel like it does, to be honest. It absolutely does. See, it just clicked into place with the other one. That is how it goes. And we are just gonna find it. See how it works. And we've got the puzzle. Hey, finally. I'm grabbing it. There's my drink. I was like, where is it to grab? Do you remember what kind of 3D microphone? Yeah. It's a Tascam. I was gonna look at which specific kind it is, but for that I'd have to find it, which it hasn't been used in quite a few months, because I could never get the settings right. I saw your message about it, Nukes. Sorry for not replying in time, actually. I wanted to respond with all the details, so I had been looking like around my apartment for like where it is. Because, you know, like, even within, like, as a Tascam, you know, that's just the brand, so it can be, like, quite a few different things. And I thought I knew where it was, so I looked there first, and then I couldn't find it there. And then I couldn't find it in any other spot either. So I looked all over the place, and I was like, well, that's stupid. But yeah. kind of the issue with that one, I guess, is just I haven't quite gotten it to work like at a good quality. I haven't been able to record it with a good, nice quality, like sound quality, basically. I need to change something in the settings, because I know that the mic itself is good. It's totally a user error. But it shouldn't be like how close or far away I am from it, because I've tried all variations of that. I've got to change something or other in the settings. And that's kind of unfortunate. Because I've looked at tutorials, after I bought the mic. Because the special one about that, for any viewers who don't know what a 3D-IO mic is, it's like quote-unquote three-dimensional. Basically, if I okay, so I'm close to the mic right now, right? I'm kind of in the middle of it. Now I'm on the right side of it, and I'm talking, and now I'm on the left side of it. You're not gonna hear it just on the left side. You're gonna kind of hear it a little bit of everywhere. And to be fair, with even like on my mic, there's a few different settings I can put, like on this mic that you hear me on right now. There's different settings for like where it takes the sound from, but it's always gonna be sounding kind of like one thing. Like there's gonna be more or less an equal amount of sound on both of your headphones if you're wearing headphones. And 3D-IO, microphone, is, if you listen to a recording from that, if the right settings are switched on, because it can also just do like a quote-unquote regular recording, but if the recording is on that it's supposed to be on, that makes it special. If I'm going to the right side, you will hear the sound only on the right side of your microphone. Not headphone. Damn it! I'm using the wrong words. You will hear it not on your microphone, because you don't have one, necessarily. You will hear it in your headphone. The right side, if I'm speaking into the right side of my mic, you will hear it on the right side of the headphone. And vice versa. If I'm going on the left side, you'll hear it on the left side. And that is that special thing. So yeah. And I bought one of those like a year or two ago. And I tried around with it for a few months. I think I did 2 recordings with it that actually turned into an audio. But it added so much extra work because I was not able to get it to work right, that I was like, okay, I have to make this be correct. I have to make this be good before I can get back into it. And since then, I haven't been able to get it right. And then I have to admit at one point I kind of, I don't want to say gave up, because it's not like I put the mic in the trash or I put it up in my attic. It just kind of got lost with the rest of life. So yeah, it's still not perfect. When I do a recording with it, I can't promise that it's gonna sound actually good. You could technically use a microphone as a speaker if you have a way to do it. Okay, I don't know. I guess. To be fair, my microphone can be like a headphone connector. Like, I can put my headphones into the mic. I don't need an extra plug for it, if that's what you mean, but probably not. But yeah, no, none of the mics I've ever had have been used as speakers. I have an attic. Well, it's storage. I don't know what you imagined from an attic, but it's basically So I live on the quote-unquote ground floor, and then there's 5 levels of apartments above me, or 4 maybe. 4 or 5. And then above that, there's the roof. But there's, before the roof, there's a little bit of space that they've made specifically for storage. It's one big space. Some of it is quote-unquote reserved for drying your laundry. So there's some clotheslines up there, and you can put up your laundry. And then the one big space is divided by little wooden bars, let's call it that, for all the apartments in the house. So that everyone has a little compartment where you can put up storage. What's fancy about my apartment is I have both an attic storage space and a basement storage space. And I didn't think I would. I thought it was either or, which is why I actually didn't know about the attic storage space for the longest time, because when I moved in, we were looking at the contract and it was like, oh, maybe you have an attic storage space or you have a basement storage space. You know, depends on the building you're in, because the contract we got was very generic. So my parents and I at the time, because I moved in here when my parents were still helping with a lot of stuff. So we went down the stairs that we saw that were there. And so we were like, oh, I guess there's a basement. And so we went in and we saw okay, which storage space is mine? And we found it and I was like, oh cool, I have a basement. I can store things here. And then like a long while later, I don't even know how it came out in conversation, but my mother, she was like, oh yeah, we looked through the whole house and there's an attic. And I'm like, what do you mean there's an attic? I thought it was either a basement or an attic, not both. But yeah, the amount, the storage space that I have is it's very narrow. You can put like some boxes of stuff up there. You can put, I don't know, whatever, you know, a little bit of stuff for storage you can put there. And that is my attic. Oh, no, not an attic access above me, below the upstairs neighbor. It's not like I have, apartments like that do exist, but not apartments in that sense. Well, okay, so there's houses, right, that have that you can make to be apartments. And I've looked at ones that were basically, if you have the highest apartment in a house and it's just 2-3 stories high, you can basically have your main apartment in there, it's the kitchen in there, it's the living room in there, it's maybe the bathroom in there, and then you go upstairs and then there's one more room, and it's very narrow in the sense that it's the roof, you're right under the roof, so the walls are getting narrower the higher up they go. I've looked at apartments like that. Yeah, I live in a vertical apartment. I think, if that means what you think it means. But yeah, all of my walls go straight up. Because I'm on the ground floor and there's 5 levels above me. There's 5 levels of apartments above me. But yeah, the apartment I looked at that had the most attic-y rooms, it was kind of unfortunate because the price was pretty good for it. And I almost accepted because I wanted to move and it was a quieter town. It was nice. It had lots of space, in a sense. Because I realized when, like, actually viewing the apartment, I wouldn't be able to put up any of my furniture that I had. I would have to sell everything and, like, rebuy smaller things. Because even on the lower, quote-unquote, floor, so the stuff that doesn't go up the one staircase-ish that leads to the higher room, all of that already had, like it getting narrower to the ceiling. So I couldn't have a closet that stands up straight. I could have cabinets, if anything. I could have, like dressers that aren't too tall. But anything that's tall couldn't stand there because it would get narrower the higher to the ceiling you got. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a downside, but maybe I can adjust. Like, I'm not too attached to my closet or whatever. I can just get more cupboards, drawers, whatever, dressers. You know, that's fine. But then also the landlady, she wanted the tenant to pay for, like, a certain amount of renovations. And I was like, wait, okay, so you want, like, the monthly rent, you want the deposit, and you want me to pay for this maintenance work that you have to do, or that you feel you have to do. Like, I wouldn't need it. I don't feel like I need it. But it's kind of like more or less law in Germany, I guess. But when you have tenants living somewhere for a certain amount of time, in Germany, it's usually custom that either when you move in, you paint, or when you move out, you paint. The tenants in that apartment that I was viewing, they were there for like 20 years. Which exceeds the amount of time or whatever, I guess. Where, like, even if they painted when they moved in, or maybe that wasn't the issue, but anyway, they moved out and the walls hadn't been painted in 20 years. And so the landlady was like, oh, this has to be painted. But because the walls are so high, you know, since it was like a special apartment under the roof and it went up like a little staircase to another room, she was like, oh, a professional painter has to do this. So it's gonna be 800 euros and you have to pay that on moving in. And I was like, I'm not gonna be moving in then. No thanks. No thanks. Don't want to do that. Thanks for letting me look at the apartment, but that's a no from me. I would have to adjust all of my furniture, and you want me to pay lots of extra money. Like, that's not a deposit, guys. I just want to make sure that this is clear. That is the money I would have to pay for someone to come and professionally paint because she feels the need to paint that way. When either it would be the tenant's responsibility or it would be hers as the landlord. Because again, basically, like, the rule is if you move into an apartment, even if you just live there for a year, I mean, to be fair, then you can come to an agreement maybe if it still looks like new enough. But if you live somewhere, let's say 5 years, and you move into a like freshly renovated apartment where like the walls were nice and painted, it looks great. You have to make it look that way before you move out. If you move into an apartment that's not at all good, then you also don't have to take care of it. But if you, let's say you move into an apartment that's like not great quality, it doesn't look great, and then you put in the work of painting it, you know, like right when you move in, then the landlord can also put that responsibility on the next tenant. They can basically say, hey, the way it looks right now, that's how you're gonna get it, but also the previous tenant painted it when they came in, so that's also what you have to do to keep it like kind of quote-unquote up to date. I don't know what exactly is all a must or not must, but yeah, that's like the extent of my knowledge, kind of. But yeah, for that appointment that I looked at that I was really on the fence about, like, getting, because the price was nice, and the location was nice, in my opinion. Like, for me, just for my needs. I didn't take it because the landlady wanted 800 fucking euros for it to get painted. Because she was like, well, the last tenants have been here for 20 years, so it needs to be upkept. And it's the tenant's responsibility. And I'm like, no, it's not. Either, if you don't want to put in the work for this, you find a tenant who would be fine with these walls the way they are, which I totally would have been. Like, you know, I wasn't thinking like, oh my god, this is such yucky walls. They're looking so old and yellow. I don't know, whatever. You know, like, if someone's been smoking there for years, you will see that on the, like, the wallpaper, the tapestry, whatever you want to call it. But that wasn't the case at all, and I was, like, I would have been totally fine taking the apartment as is, but she absolutely insisted on having, like someone professional come out and paint the stuff. And she wanted the new tenant to pay for that. Not just, okay, here's the bill, pay for it whenever it's due. It was specifically pay 800 for this. And I'm like, is that actually what the bill is gonna be like? Damn. Hey, yeah, thank you for the conversion. I'm gonna believe that. Sounds about right. 800 euros is about $900 US dollars. But yeah, so that's a lot of money for someone to just paint the walls. I mean, again, it was a lot of area to paint, and it was very high walls. Like, as a private person, yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that unless I got a really tall ladder. Because you can't just get, like, on a little step stool and paint it. It was basically, like, the wall, like, in the kitchen area, because the kitchen was, like, it was, like, an open kitchen, if I'm remembering it all right. But the open kitchen, like, the wall to the outer, like, the outer wall, you know, to the outside world, was, like, started, you know, obviously at the bottom on the floor, but then reached up to the end of the roof, and it was basically like 2 stories. Even though you didn't have, like, an entire 2 stories of apartment, you had, like, the kitchen, living room, open thing in the bottom, and then, like, the bedroom in the bottom as well. And then going up the stairs in the middle of the room led to a tiny room upstairs that I was initially thinking, like, oh, that could be my office, that would be really handy. And then I realized, oh, there is no door, there is no wall, there is nothing. It's just a little bit of storage space going up, like, a giant staircase. It is not actually a lot that you get for whatever it is you're paying. And then also, you have this 2-story wall that apparently a professional painter has to come out and paint. Yeah, that is shitty. And the funny thing is, when I looked at that apartment, I was really on the fence, you know, like, even with those charges, because I was desperate to move somewhere else because I had, like, severe issues with my neighbors. I was quite thinking about moving. And I was like, that's a lot of money though, and I wouldn't be happy with the apartment. It's not great. Like, it's not at all ideal, but it's better than having the neighbors I couldn't have. So I was really thinking about it. In the end, I decided against it. And then, like, 4 months later, like, when, because this was, like, not someone my family knew directly, but someone my family had contacts to. So, like, it was, like, over 3 corners, like, you know, someone knows something, who knows something, who knows something, who knows this person, who had this apartment they wanted to, like, you know, get a renter for. But yeah, so from that we knew, okay, someone took the apartment, or at least it went off the market, like the person wasn't asking anymore for someone to move in. And then a few months later, online, which when I was at the viewing, at the private viewing, the landlady, she was like, oh, I don't want to put this online, there's lots of crazy people who are going to come out, you know, like, I would much rather just find someone to live here, like, through contacts. And we were, like, such contacts. Over a few corners, but still a few contacts. In a way. But yeah, so, you know, I declined, because I was like, nah, fuck that. And then literally, like, 4 months later, I saw that exact apartment, and I know 100% that it was that apartment on, like, an online, like rental site where you can find, like, apartments and houses to rent. And I was like, guess you didn't find someone, did you? Maybe your expectations were a little bit too high there, were they? But yeah, so I was a little salty about that, because I would have, even though there was quite a few things about it I didn't like, I would have taken that apartment if there wasn't that giant charge for a painter. I absolutely would have. Oh, how much to rent? Oh, I don't remember exactly. I don't know if they had heightened the price. I think they had. So, like, the monthly was higher than what they told me it would be when we looked at it privately. So I think they were trying to get the money back in for the painter, you know, so... Because I'm not sure if it's legal, actually. I mean, maybe in a rental contract you could make it, like, work somehow. But I've never heard of a rental contract you sign where you pay, like, the monthly rent. And maybe, like, 2 months in advance for the landlord to be safe. And then also deposit, you know, in case you damage anything and you get that deposit back when you move out. Plus, you just pay such a lump sum of money for a painter that you did not request. You know, like, if you want something professionally done, okay, I get it. You have to pay that money. But that was, like, unasked. You know, that was just, like, requested from the new tenant, like, as a requirement. So I feel like, I don't know. I've never seen a contract like that. I'm not sure if it works. No, that's the thing. I did not get the option to paint the walls myself. I would have liked to try, because surely no matter how many hours of work I put in and how bad it looks in the end, it would be better than paying 800 euros. Like, what the fuck, you know? But yeah. Well, this was, to be fair, this was like 2 years ago at least now. So it's been a little while. And maybe I got the short end of the stick, because I haven't moved out of the apartment that I've tried to move out of yet. To be fair, my neighbors have gotten better. The neighbors that I had issues with, they were removed. I don't want to say they just left, but they were removed because they were absolutely terrorizing things. But still, like, for other reasons, I've wanted to move out for a long ass while. And I haven't found anything that works for me that I can afford yet, so, you know, I don't know. Who was murdered? What? But also living with your parents still is totally valid as well. Like, I had to move out when I was 17. Not because my parents weren't, like, supportive. They absolutely are. They're great. My parents are lovely. But basically, we had to vacate the house we lived in. And I was thinking about moving out within like the next year or two. And so at 17, I was like, well, okay, I mean, I can try and find a place for myself, right? Because then you guys don't have to look for a new place that has room for me that I'm just gonna move out of in a year or two anyway, you know? Like, you get the idea? Like, they would be paying permanently for, like, a bigger space that's then not gonna, like, be needed once I've moved out. Just because I waited, like, an extra year or two until I was, like, more stable. So I moved out at 17 into my own apartment. And to be fair, at the time, my parents, like, paid the rent for me still. I mean, I was a minor still. They legally had to in Germany. I don't know. I don't think it's exactly the same in the US. I think you can more or less kind of abandon your child, which is fucked. But yeah, legally even here you can't, even if you want to. But yeah, my parents were anyway. They were good parents and they, paid for stuff. So I got my own apartment, but it was just like the first one I could find that they would actually accept me for, because, like, surprisingly, the issue wasn't whether I could pay or not. The issue was that people didn't want such a young person in their apartment, because, like, the few viewings that we did have, the owners of the building, even when they were, like, big corporations or, like, bigger, seemed to have an issue with, like, people under 20, because they were of the opinion that, like, anyone who is so young is just gonna party and destroy the apartment, you know, terrorize the rest of the tenants, and yeah, damage lots of things. Which, I mean, to be fair, that's what the deposit is for. So why are you worried about that? Unless it's, like, damages that exceed the worth of the deposit, that's difficult. Okay. Goddamn. But yeah, so we just took the first apartment that would take me as a 17-year-old at the time. And now, for the past few years, I've been trying to find something that works better for me, that works better for my job, because I need something quieter. I have lots of upstairs neighbors that are loud, and I live in the middle of the city. There's a decently busy intersection right outside my window, so that's also usually audible in recordings. Don't know if you just heard the noise from upstairs, mayhaps. Usually, like, background noise, outside noise is, like, harder to tell, because, like, noise reduction does a bit. But then also, I just have to redo lots of lines. Like, you will never hear those lines that are interrupted by people walking through the front door, and then the door slams. Children screaming in the hallway, running up the stairs, like, shoes going up and down the stairs. Because even when it's, like the most normal goddamn shoes, I thought for a while, actually, that, like, one of the tenants just had, like, really loud, like, clickety-clackety high heels. But no, it's just any shoes sound so loud in the stairwell. Don't ask me why. But yeah, so a lot of those noises are pretty hard. So I'm trying to find somewhere that's, like, quieter. Maybe somewhere I'm just, like, in a roof apartment, which is also, like, why that one, the one I mentioned, was nice. But, you know, I was like, those 800 euros that are just gone because you choose to have a professional painter, and I'm still not sure that the painter cost that much, but, you know, whatever. It would have been nice. Roof apartment is nice. Anyway, but yeah, so since then I've been looking for a better place, but it's hard to find something affordable, especially with my earnings, the amount of money I earn. Hey yo, I'm not doxing myself. I just said I live on the ground floor. How's that? What info can anyone take from that? Did I say anything more identifying? Please tell me if I said anything more identifying. Oh boy. I'm glad you like stories like this though, Nyx. I'll try and tell more things about my life, I guess. If I have anything interesting to say. Sometimes the issue, I guess, is that I don't have much fun. Oh, near a busy intersection. Dude, if you can find me from that info alone, you've basically earned stalking me, ringing my doorbell, whatever else people do when I dox myself. Like, all the info you have to go on is, I am German, and near a busier intersection. The first question is, what do I consider busy? And then it's just, how many intersections are there in one city? And then how many cities with quote-unquote busy intersections are there in Germany? You are totally in my walls, yeah. Well, but then, then you don't need to know that I'm near an intersection. You just hear the buses and cars and trucks all driving by loudly anyway. There's nothing else to do. You're welcome. I live to serve. I love to help. Let me know if you need any other tips to make sure that you know exactly where I live. Oh, no, for sure. Some people are crazy detectives. Like, they can get small details and make a whole shit ton of that. Like, someone listening to the background sounds on my streams, like, maybe you couldn't figure out where I live. Well, probably not from the background sounds in my living room, but if I left the window open, maybe they could. Maybe at one point, someone like at a bus stop nearby would say like a stop, and then even if that name of that bus stop exists like in 20 cities in Germany, they would still be able to figure out where I am. If I posted like a picture, for sure that would be even easier. Like, even if it's a picture of just like one tree or me walking, like it's just pointing at the ground. It's like, oh, those stones haven't been used since the 1970s. All the construction of those sidewalk stones that still exists is in these 3 specific cities. And from the background sounds, there being not so much of a busy street nearby, it needs to be a rural one. So we're gonna cross out that one, and then there's only these 2 places in all of Germany left. And now, just deducing from this one detail that Sin ever said in one of her streams, to be fair, I'm pretty sure you could figure out where I live from all the details I've given on stream, like, throughout the years, if you had all the clips, if you had all the info. So you wouldn't even need to put in that much effort in that sense. But, even if you didn't have all that, yeah, you could probably find out, like, a shit ton of stuff if you're just a little bit of a detective. If you find a random piece of paper at your doorstep, don't question it. Just know that I know. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that pictures have geodata stored in them? That's crazy to me. That's scary. I heard about that some years ago, and then like on a Tumblr account I had, like where I was like uploading like nature pictures. But occasionally talking to people, but mostly like uploading nature pictures of like flowers and things, but like very close to my house. Like I would go for walks with my dog that I had at the time, and I would take pictures of like pretty little flowers and like this one little tree and whatever. And then someone told me like, oh yeah, geodata and stuff, and anyone can find you online if you upload those pictures. And I'm like, what? Excuse me, what? And since then, what I did, I don't know if this helps. Actually, tell me if this helps. I would take screenshots of the pictures I took and then upload the cropped screenshot as opposed to the picture I took with my camera. Because in my head I was thinking like, okay, it's not gonna have the info, like the data from the camera anymore. It's gonna have the data from the screenshot, which I mean technically I guess that could still be from my phone, but I don't know. And like to me it felt more secure. It seemed like that's gonna have less geolocation data. You need to disable the geodata. Okay, wait, if I look, tell me real quick, if I, oh no, I moved the last puzzle picture. There it's supposed to be. If I look at my pictures in my camera roll, can I see the geolocation data? Because for me, it says no location information, and I can add location information. I can say, oh, this picture was taken in Germany, in this city, in wherever. Like, I know it from Instagram, where, you know, you can add a location. Apparently, I can do the same thing in my phone gallery. In my pictures. But if I look at the details of a picture, it tells me on like the day of the week, the date, the year, and the time it was taken on, and where it's saved. It does also say which like phone the picture was taken on, and what kind of lens that camera has, the resolution, how many megapixels, like stuff like that, but it does not say anything about any location. Okay, Standort does mean, in German, location. I don't have location details in any of the photos I take. Pretty sure. Really quite sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do have GPS off. Yeah, I guess that would make sense that then it wouldn't be able to even take that info if it if it could. And I guess it can't add it, like... Wait. Well, let me look at a picture where I know I had my GPS on. For sure. No location information still. Nothing. This was today, and I know that I had my GPS on because I had my Google Maps on to know how to get to the place beforehand, and then I didn't turn it off until after I was done at the place. Like, I went to a grocery store, and to get to the grocery store, I had my GPS on, and I turned the GPS off when I went home, like when I was home. And I took a video while I was at the place. So if it could have my GPS data, just from me having my GPS on, it would have taken it there. Maybe it's disabled, yeah, but I'm saying it's disabled by default. I mean, I know that I disabled a lot of things when I got my phone. Because I don't want to say paranoid, but I'm pretty cautious, I would say. I don't like lots of things being out there in the open and being read and whatever. Like, when I figured out that my Notes app is stored in a cloud, I was pretty miffed about that, even though my Notes app is just shopping lists and poetry. And my weight. I note down how much I weigh and what the date and time is. Well, not the time, actually, just the date. But, like, that's, you know, there's no incriminating data at all on my Notes app, but I was like, that gets saved? Hello? Without my knowing? That's crazy shit. Anyway, but yeah, no, I have no location data in my phone app, in my cam app. Hey, I'm not scared of the chemicals they put in the water, unless they put chemicals in the water. Shush. If there's something to be worried about, I'm worried about it. Sure. But I'm not, because there's not, unless someone gives me any proof that there is. But yeah, anyway. The consensus is, even if I have my GPS on, it does not give geolocation data in my pictures. They do turn the frogs gay, how dare. Wow, what are we gonna do with all the frogs gay? Wow. Have you thought about a life like that? Damn. They're putting something in the water that makes you pee. That's funny, that's cute, that's funny. Whenever I drink more water, I have to go to the bathroom more. I'm onto something. It's a conspiracy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no, I moved my my mouse, as you can tell, by the last puzzle piece flying around. Because when I actually put it in, there's gonna be ads. And I don't want ads. At all. Bam. Anyway. Well, this has been a lot of fun. So I enjoyed our conversations about phones and apartments and outrageous prices for professional wall painters, apparently. But yeah, I hope you had fun. I'm gonna be heading off. I hope to see you for the next upload, for the next stream, all that stuff. And yeah, be good to yourselves. Remember to have some good food, because nutrition is important. Remember to stay hydrated, especially with water. No, coffee does not count. Well, it's better than nothing, but I don't want you to feel like you've been hydrated enough, even though you've only had coffee all day. Like, that's a lot of caffeine, or you haven't been drinking a lot. Like, if you've had 2 liters of coffee, that's kind of too much coffee, and if you haven't had if you haven't had 2 liters of coffee, then you haven't hydrated enough. So, have water, please, please. Thank you. Alright, good night, guys. Have a good day. If it's not night for you yet, and yeah. Alright.